So I'm Hillary. I'm here traveling with Nelson. You might have caught his class on Wednesday. So I'm traveling from the United States with him and my two children. We do have Inverted Gear Academy. If you're ever coming through East Coast United States, let us know. You're always welcome to come train, visit. And today I'll be teaching how I like to approach triangles from different angles. I'm probably not the most stereotypical triangle attacker, as you can see, but we can still find them as long as we give the right approach, attack with the right angle, and maybe you'll start to notice them from different positions, yeah? So if you have any questions, just, I guess, raise your hand, or if you need me to speak up, raise your hand, and I'll do my best to make sure everyone is on the same page, yes? So I guess I'll need a volunteer. Maybe one of the ladies in the front would be great. If you don't mind. Here, how about you in the purple? We'll mix it up. So what I'd like to start here is from guard. Okay? And we're going to get an overhook. Okay? Either side is fine. And I just want you guys to look for this triangle shape. You don't have to finish the triangle. We're just looking for the shape. Okay, so how are we going to control this arm? How are we going to get our leg through and find the shape? It's up to you, okay? Any questions so far? So I'm going to have you work for 2 minutes, and I will tell you to switch, and then you'll go top to bottom. Yes?
Yeah.
All right, 1, 2. So we're here, right? And everyone's starting with our overhook. So already, I'm not just hitting her square here and getting that overhook, right? We want to angle, okay? And try to isolate not just the arm, but the shoulder, okay? I want to get my hips and knees turning in the appropriate direction so they can move, right? So I can start to move. And maybe you might put the foot on the hip, okay? Because some of you are a little bit longer. You need to extend more to get that knee in front, okay? And get up here, and then we can start thinking about attacking the triangle. I saw some of you kind of weren't sure what to do, like you were here, you're just like throwing it up, and your partner's already posturing and getting out, like, oh, your guard's open, they can look to pass. So how are we going to isolate, right? So we're here with that overhook tight. If you're wearing a gi, sometimes you can use those lapels to help secure while you start moving your hips and moving your legs. So heavy with that knee on the shoulder, okay? Sometimes you can post on the hip, because I want to be able to get that knee in front, so we can isolate, right? And then we're going to grab that shin, okay? And get the triangle. So I want to try this drill one more time. Okay, thinking about really like a lot of control, because partner on chop, it's going to be your job to try to posture and get out and not let us break you down, okay? So we get to start here. Okay, think about creating your angle so they can't posture away. And how are we going to get here and be able to grab our shin and try to finish, okay? Any questions on that? Ready to try it one more time? So give a little bit more resistance when you're on top, okay? 1, 2.
Open already and then push it down.
So, again, it starts with this connection, but also getting that angle, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm turning the opposite knee from the arm I'm controlling down to the mat, okay? And I want to stay there. Again, I'm flush with on her shoulder, so it's heavy and she can't posture. So I can start to bring this foot out and get my triangle shape, okay? Now, it doesn't matter if their arms outside or inside, right? I'm grabbing my shin and I'm staying connected to my partner, whether we underhook the arm or underhook the leg. But now it's all about angles again. So I have to get perpendicular here. I want the back of my hamstring to be flush to her neck, okay? To tighten up that triangle space, okay? And lock it up here. So look for your angles, look to get more perpendicular, staying on your side, okay? So we're controlling, all right? Getting that leg out, controlling here, triangle shape, and now we're going to look for the finish, okay? And this isn't enough. There's still a lot of space in here, right? So we're pulling our leg all the way across so it's on the neck, okay? And pulling ourselves tight to the opposite side of the lock, okay? Another detail I like to do is flex my feet. I don't want to just be here and my feet are loose because that's enough space for her to weasel that shoulder in or probably pull out even, okay? But flexing creates more tension and tightness where I can now pinch my knees for the finish. But see how I'm at this perpendicular angle? Okay? Does anyone need to see it again? Or have questions? Yes?
Maybe from a slightly
Can you
different
roll?
angle.
Yeah.
Yep, we're gonna turn. We're gonna turn.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay? So overhook is on. You start with your overhook. Okay? We get on our side. I'm not doing it from here. Okay? I'm on my side. My knees are high. I'm getting my knee in front of her shoulders. Okay? Finding my shin. Getting connected. Right? And I'm getting an angle here by pulling on my shin. Okay? Until I can keep turning and it's flush to her neck to lock it up. Okay? But notice how it doesn't matter if this arm is on the outside or the inside. It's about the angle I'm creating for myself. Okay? So for the next couple minutes, just go back and forth. You don't need to be triangling someone for a whole 2 minutes. Yes? Okay, 1, 2. For now, I'm just trying to have you understand the shapes that we're looking for. So that was from the bottom, okay? We'll come back to people are getting more defensive, controlling, trying to control you and what your legs are doing. But to continue seeing the likeness between our shapes, we're going to look at it from the top now. So if I have Isabella in the side control, we're going to start with an overhook from top, okay? And we're going to look for that same shape, right? This way. So I have the overhook, okay? And we're going to look to isolate and step over and control that shin again. Practicing that pulling across so our thigh is flush with their neck, okay? And just finding the shape here. That's fine. If you can lock it up, great. But some of us aren't as flexible to do that. As long as you get your shin behind their neck, that's fine. So one more time. We're starting with an overhook, okay? And we're looking to control this arm enough to get our foot around, pulling our shin, and getting that knee to the mat, okay? So notice the perpendicular angle I'm in, notice the control of the arm, and again, I'm looking for our thigh flush to the neck. Any questions? Okay, so for 2, yes? The overhook, it helps isolate the arm for the triangle. Yes? And it helps also keep our partner pinned while our legs are going to work.
But if they're like reaching up, I can just like step over and have the arm isolated like this.
So, here?
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes we'll find that position and we'll be able to switch sides as well. So for how defensive they're being, sometimes maybe she goes here and I'll top spin as well. But however you can find that underhook, that's fine if you want your partner to play a little harder and be more defensive. Okay, but this is how we're gonna start. So yeah, if they start pulling this arm out, maybe reaching for an underhook, you can switch sides, okay? But remember, we're looking for that triangle shape, isolating that arm that we're controlling. Yeah? All right, I'll tell you to switch. 1, 2. Yep, I'm gonna have side control again. Thank you. Okay, so let's go over how we're getting into this mounted triangle, okay? Maybe helping you guys with some of your angles, right? So I go from controlling the arm here, just so I can get my knee under her shoulder, all right? Kind of keep it as a wedge, so she can't get it back to the mat. Because she gets that shoulder to the mat, her elbow comes in, and we probably lose that arm. Maybe we can attack the other side like you had asked. But I want to stay on this arm for now if I can. So this is my wedge. So I can slide under her neck and keep that elbow and knee together, right? And that's when, go back around here, I can start to lean to get off of that back leg, push down, and step across, grabbing that shin right away. See how I'm leaning towards her head? If I'm heavy on that leg, it's probably awkward to step up. It's heavy, okay? But I'm leaning so it can kind of slide across here, and grab my own shin. But now the goal is to pull hard enough on that shin again so my leg is flush. Therefore, I need to lean forward and get that knee to the mat. Okay, so let's talk about the finish, right? I want to pull on that shin, all right? And I'm going to turn my heel. We're going to turn one more time, Isabel. You good? All right, so my foot's like out here, right? And it still might be hard to lock it up, especially if your hips aren't as flexible. Right? So I'm going to bring that heel back towards that shoulder, leaning forward. Now we can lock it up. Again, doesn't matter where this arm is. Naturally, it might come in front, or it's here for the arm bar. But just to finish, we pinch our knees together. You good? Yeah. So one more time. Everyone with me so far? Mm-hmm. We have our overhook. Okay, I'm going to look to control and wedge. That's when we step over, okay? Grab our shin. Start leaning towards your knee and finding that shape. Find your shape first. Okay, check your shape. Make sure you're tight, okay? Bring that heel back so you can lock it up. Again, flexing your feet helps, and pinching those knees for the mounted triangle, okay? Similar, but different to when we were on bottom, right? But finding that triangle shape first and then adjusting, okay? So for the next couple minutes, just go back and forth with those adjustments so you get the finish. Okay, so switch on your own. 1, 2.
And then what you should.
I know around the room some of you had questions like from the mounted triangle, do I have to lock it up? No, you do not. You could be down for me a second. Some of you, I don't know if you remember, but when we first started, just the position here and finding the shape, okay? It's just about getting your foot around, staying behind the head, pulling your shin through so your knee hits the mat. You can be here and just put like the arch of your foot to your knee. It's about, I don't want my knees pointing this way and my hips this way. Okay, because see how there's a lot of space? It's about pointing my knees here. See how that closed up the gap already? And then the finish is about as long as my knees are on the mat, I can pinch my knees. So still, even if your legs are not necessarily locked, I don't want to be flaring my knees like this. Same if we're on the bottom and we're hitting them square up. It's like, that's when my knees start to flare like this. It's about angling my hips, pointing my knees in the right direction, so I can pinch like this, all right? And that's when it doesn't matter as much where their arm is in the scenario. It's about closing that space right on the sides of the neck with our thighs. Okay? So let's go back to guard now. Okay? And if our partner is going to be a little bit more defensive. So still start with that overhook. Okay? And we're here. And we're looking for our shape. But partner on top is going to try to control our legs. What do we do? So maybe you overhook this leg, or you control that bottom leg here, like overhook it. Just for some ideas, what do we do? Okay, so I'm gonna have you play for 2 minutes each and maybe try to figure it out, see what you come up with. And then I'll offer some suggestions. Okay, sound good? Questions? 1, 2. Let's break down the big defenses, right? I saw some of you were still able to get in the triangle shape, which is good. But we don't always have to come back to that first triangle, right? So we got the overhook, I'm adjusting, okay? If she starts controlling that bottom leg, right? So she has it here, okay? I can still find my triangle shape. All I have to do is get that knee on the mat. Okay, turn it down. So even if she's trying to hold it, I can still turn it down to the mat, right? Down to the mat, lock it up, right? Here. Okay, adjust. Maybe I can get my leg out. If not, circle, okay? But keep turning that knee down. One more time, I got the arm. I'm turning. Knee comes to the mat, okay? Coming up, lock it up, and pinch. Okay? On that shin, I can come through and pinch. Okay? So it's still about turning those knees and making the ankles. Okay? If we go and they start overhooking that leg, bringing us back maybe to the other side, right? I'm still going to turn my knee to the mat. Turning it down, locking it up. Maybe I'll start attacking here. And just making sure I get perpendicular, okay? And pinching. It doesn't matter if those arms are outside or inside. Okay? So try back and forth again with those resistance and just being able to turn your hips and knees down so you can lock it up. Okay? And pinch your thighs together. Yes? Okay, 1, 2.
So that's the thing. Nice. I feel like you're getting pressure on your shoulders again to bring it down.
Yeah, the first one was definitely.
I think I rushed through this one a little bit, so I apologize for that. I've seen a lot of the same questions. So let's isolate just that bottom leg, right? I have the arm, but they don't like that I have the arm. Okay? They don't like that I have this arm. So they're just gonna isolate the leg here, bringing my knee, controlling this leg, right? They don't like the overhook. They don't like the overhook of what I'm trying to set up. So she's trying to control this leg here, all right? So I'm turning my knee to the mat here. I'm gonna bail on the arm that I had the overhook, okay? I'm gonna look for the lock this way for a sideways triangle, okay? So now my knees are together. I'm pinching here. Turning. Okay. So partner on top, it's gonna be your job to try to isolate that bottom leg. You don't like what's happening with the overhook, so I lose it, okay? I can still turn that knee down, pull, okay, and get the lock. Okay, so now I have a sideways triangle. And I'm still coming at her neck sideways. My knees are pointed that way and I have the perpendicular to pinch. Okay. Sorry. So that was my bad. This is about when they're really being defensive about that overhook, trying to isolate the bottom leg. And then we'll go if they really want to isolate and overhook the top leg. Okay, so just work on concentrating on that bottom leg and not letting them get the overhook. Sure. I have my guard, I'm looking for the overhook. She's like, no, okay? So I'm just gonna climb my leg, find my shin, okay? Here. I'm pulling up, I'm turning that knee down and pulling up on my shin, okay? I actually scoot back a little bit to get that arm behind, okay? And it's about locking, flexing. I'm coming at her sideways with my hips. My knees are pointed that way so I can pinch. Okay? Okay. Okay. Try again. 1, 2. So you need to turn your knees. So now walk up the triangle. One more, kind of like, so you get sideways triangles, is what I was trying to explain with getting those angles when they're trying to control your legs. Okay, so the last one is going to be from the back, right? So if we have back control, okay, I'm going to get 1 foot across the hip, and it's about controlling the hands so they're almost in like a straight jacket, right? But the foot that's across the hip, That's the side I'm going to start to escape to get that same perpendicular angle and fight to get in front of their shoulders. Okay? And that's when we can start climbing that shin from the hip to the head. Okay? And scoop back. So I get flush to their neck. Now my legs are pretty flared here. Just going to pinch. Okay? Last one to play around with back and forth. So we have the back, okay? Controlling the hands. I'm gonna get a cross grip for a straight jacket, okay? Make sure that foot is across the entire hip line, okay? And I'm gonna scoot, controlling, so I can isolate that arm, getting in front of her shoulders. Now I can start to scoot, scoot. Lock up to that triangle shape, figure 4. Stay at the perpendicular angle, stay seated, and pinch your knees. Okay?
Maybe
Questions?
one more time.
Here. Script. Angling. So isolate, okay? Having my own shin and scooting. Lock it up. Point your knees and pinch. Back triangle. Cool? All right, 1, 2. So thank you, everybody. I'm sorry I got close on time there at the end, but I am on Instagram, Facebook, if you feel like reaching out and troubleshooting what we discovered today, which is finding that shape. I know some of you were getting reverse triangles out of the deal just by locking your legs a different way, but I hope approaching it with like making sure you're at that perpendicular angle, so you're moving your hips, pointing your knees so you can pinch them together, help solve a lot of riddles. Otherwise, thank you again, and it's been a real treat to be part of Globetrotters Camp. So thank you.